What up, nerds? My name is Leslie. Welcome to The Nerdy Narrative, a channel where I have fun talking about books in the science fiction, fantasy, and horror genres. If you missed Wednesday's video, I revealed my September TBR. I will link that up above for you if you want to check that out. Today is Monday, and that means it is time for a weekly reading update. So this update is going to start out the way I like to start out my days, and that's talking to you about the One Piece manga that I am buddy reading with Una from the Codex Cantina. As of filming date, we are through volume 27. The Straw Hats wrapped up their adventure in Alabasta. We are now in Skypeia. The adventurous Straw Hats have already, of course, managed to find themselves some trouble to get into. Hilarity is ensuing. This arc is very different from the Alabasta one. I'm enjoying the difference in it. I'm also really kind of amazed at the momentum carrying over from one arc into the next. I wasn't quite sure I was going to enjoy this arc as much as I did the last one, but of course, once I got a couple of volumes in, I was hooked. I am in love with this manga. It is without a doubt my favorite. Can't wait to keep going and see what happens next on that one. I also started A Hero's Downfall, which is book one of the Story of Evil trilogy by Tony Johnson. Once I started this book, there was no stopping the momentum. This book was an absolute delight to read. It was action-packed, it was fast-paced. It's got a ton of really interesting fantasy elements that makes me feel it's a really good fantasy book to recommend to someone who maybe doesn't normally read fantasy or just kind of want to test out the genre. There's so many things about it that were familiar but also different, and I really enjoyed it. I can't wait to read the second one, and I'm really looking forward to the conclusion, which is coming sometime next year. I don't have the date for the third one yet, and then as soon as I finished A Hero's Downfall, I went straight into Postapocalyptic Paradise by Alasterius Black, which really surprised me at how much I enjoyed it. I have recently made the decision I'm going to stop reading the book descriptions on the back of the book because I just don't feel like they capture the true essence of the story most of the time. And when I read the description of this one, I thought, okay, I know the premise. I know what this is going to focus, and I really thought that it was going to just be like a heavy focus around depression. As the title states, it's a post-apocalyptic story that opens up around a young man who has been left alone for 6 years. He may very well be the last survivor of the human race, and he has been functioning on his own in an environment that is just filled with radiation, monsters that were humans whose DNA was corrupted, and of course, he's alone, he's young, battles depression and thoughts of suicide. And I just thought the story was going to be centered around him being alone and battling these things, and that is entirely not the case. It has this fantastic story that has so far just kept building, and every time a new element was introduced, I was like, okay, so this is what it's going to be, and we're going to see this to the end, and that's going to wrap it up. But no, it just keeps building on the story, and it's just getting better and better. The writing is just absolutely beautiful. I'm enjoying the author's writing style just as much as I'm enjoying the story itself. I'm looking forward into diving more into that one and finishing it out. So most of last week's reading was due to me participating in the scallywagathon, which is a pirate-based readathon. It was super fun. Of course I failed. Once the readathon ended, I decided it was time I kicked it into high gear and catch up to the Stormalong 2020 Words of Radiance read along. Because there's a live stream coming up tonight, almost caught up. I think I have like 60 pages left. I'm gonna bust my tail today, get those pages knocked out so I can participate in the live stream tonight and just get myself back on track. It would be a whole lot easier for me to catch up, except I keep having to stop and write so many notes. This section of chapters has been hilarious. I have been laughing so much, and most of my laughter has been at Kaladin's expense. I also have to confess, I am a huge fan of Shaylin now. I did not trust her in Way of Kings. I started kind of liking her in at the beginning of Words of Radiance, but I was still kind of scared to trust her. But y'all, she's got me now. I am Team Shaylin all the way. She's definitely the breakout character of Words of Radiance, in my opinion. Pretty successfully knocked Kaladin and Daddy Dalinar down on my list of favorites and taken that top rung for herself. So we'll see what happens as I continue through this. So that is the extent of what I read last week. Wasn't a whole lot. It was some really great quality. No complaints. I enjoyed every bit of what I read last week. As far as next week, what I plan to get into, of course, I'll continue along with Words of Radiance. I want to get Post-Apocalyptic Paradise wrapped up. I'm really excited to see the ending of that story. I also need to knock out the rest of Assassin's Apprentice and hopefully The Rage of Dragons. I just have way too many good books going on right now. As it stands, I probably won't get all of that finished in time to knock out The Last Town this week. I'm so sorry, Michael Knipp. Please forgive me. I will read this book. It's over to you guys. What did you read last week? What was your favorite read of last week? What are you looking forward to reading this week? Hit me up down below, guys. I always love to hear from you. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Give me a like. I post Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and I also have a Nerdy Narrative Discord. I would love for you to join us. I'll have that link in the description box down below. As for me, it's time to get out of here and go pick up a book. As for you, you have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll see you soon.